Welcome back to that Eurovision site, and we're kicking off our Eurosong interviews with the first participant. I'm joined today by Bobbi Arlo. How are you doing today?
Yo, I'm good. I'm so excited to be here and to be talking to you.
So our first question is just about just yourself, really. What is the story behind Bobbi Arlo? How have you got to this point?
So I was originally a musical theatre kid. I was in college studying musical theatre. And I essentially got discovered and taken under the wing by my producer Adam, who I worked with normally, but I didn't work with him on this project. But he's basically raised me into being a singer and a songwriter and a performer in general. So worked with him, he discovered me and kind of trained me up into how to be a performer, and the rest is history. I've kind of released music steadily over the last 4.5, 5 years, and then here I am.
And how would you describe the kind of music that you make?
I would say under the umbrella term alt pop for sure. I think it kind of has hyper pop elements, it has dance elements, it has like just general bubblegum pop elements. There's so many different genres that it hits on, but I think the umbrella term alt pop would probably be the easiest way to describe it.
And how have you ended up as part of this year's Eurosong?
So I have always been a Eurovision fan since I was a kid. Like, I mean, from like six, seven, eight upwards, I can remember my mom used to have Eurovision parties all the time. So we used to, be, or we still are dedicated fans of Eurovision. So it's always been a goal of mine and a dream to participate and be in the competition. But I got the opportunity to apply, and I said, you know what, let me just chance it and see what happens. Wasn't expecting much from it, and I got picked. And yeah, I've just been kind of in a dream state ever since. I'm still kind of pinching myself. I can't believe that it's happening.
And your song is called Powerplay. And did you say you wrote in 15 minutes?
I did, yeah. I was nearly gonna post the I have a voice note of me singing the original like tune and like the lyrics and stuff that I had come up with, and sent it over to my producer Theo, who is in Greece. And I was gonna post it the other night because I feel like when you say to people, oh, I wrote it in 15 minutes, people are like, no way, you didn't, you couldn't have. But I really did. And it was just something that came really quickly, and the instrumental that Theo sent over to me inspired me so much that it just kind of flew out of me. So yeah, it was a 15-minute job, and I'm really glad. It hasn't really changed that much since I wrote it originally. The chorus changed, that's it.
And obviously, it wasn't a very long process, but can you talk us through the process of how it got written?
Yeah, so Theo is my producer. He's from Greece, as I said. And I reached out to him and just said, "Hi, like I'm thinking about doing a song for Eurovision. Like I'm a really big fan of your stuff because I found him on YouTube actually. And I was like, "Would you want to participate with me and be in this with me?" And he was like, "Absolutely." He was like, I've been asked hundreds of times before to do this, but I've not really said yes because I haven't really believed in the person or their package or whatever. But he said that he thinks I have something that is worth investing in. So he did it, and he sent me a beat package over with like six beats, and they were all incredible. But I clicked onto this first beat and I was like, there's something in this. This is powerful. So I sat down and I wrote what came to my mind, what the beat felt like to me, which was power. And I wrote it in 15 minutes, and then I sent it over on a voice note, and Theo said he loved it. And the next day I got in, I recorded it and sent it over to him, and the song just became what it is.
And what lyrically, what is the song about?
So it's about self empowerment, about walking away from a specific relationship that I was in that wasn't serving me. But I want people to take away from it that, you can walk away from any situation that doesn't make you happy or takes your power away from you, and you have every power within you to thrive and become 10 times more powerful than you were in the first place. So yeah, it's about finding your inner power and releasing the beast every now and again when you have to.
And talking about Eurosong a bit more broadly now, it feels like there's been in the last year or so a really, really big mood shift in Ireland. Like I think even before Bambi Thug won, you could tell that something had become different. What do you think that was, and how has it changed everything in Ireland?
Yeah, so in general, I think Ireland before the previous years have always sent really strong contenders and have always known and had an identity of this kind of folk singing or this kind of ballad type of vocals and songs, which Ireland is very, very well known for, and we do incredible jobs at that. But we've done it so much, it was so repetitive that the Irish people who were moving ahead of the times with Eurovision were kind of just getting tired of not seeing a reflection of actual Ireland on the show. So like if you come to Dublin, if you see the music scene in Ireland, it's so diverse. There's so many different genres of music happening all the time. You know, the people that are doing the best in the Irish charts and on the radio stations and stuff to this day are not folk singers. They're rappers. They are R&B artists. They are alt pop. They're hyper pop artists. They're everything that is a direct reflection of Ireland. And I think especially last year, Bambi created a movement of seeing Ireland for what it truly is and putting it on the stage and letting the rest of Europe catch on to what Ireland is producing. So I think it was always bound to happen. I think Bambi was just definitely the go starter of that.
And do you think that's opened a door for people like you? Because I don't really think your song is something you'd heard in really any years before the Bambi Thug effect, shall we say?
Yeah. I think yeah, I think that's such an interesting question because I think that um like Eurovision is known for being a hub of creativity and diverse and for having the quote unquote outcasts be displayed and have a platform for them that wouldn't necessarily make it on mainstream media. So you're looking immediately at people who are different and people who sound different. And I think Ireland have finally caught up that there is beauty in difference and there is beauty in uniqueness. And I think they need to send more acts that are representative of the wider community in Ireland. And yeah, I think my song in particular is a very, very very close representation of what I am and who I am as an artist and the type of music that I make. I think it's my some of my best work that I've done as an artist in the last 5 years. So I think that it's really a lovely thing for you to hear that you think that it's different to what Ireland has ever sent because that's my goal. I want to be nothing but myself, and if I go and I qualify and I get to Eurovision, I want to be exactly who I am, which is just Bobby.
I think some people were expecting the Irish, Bambi Thug maybe to just be a one-off, but from the reaction to especially your song that I've seen, people seem to be really behind Ireland now.
Mm.
Do you
I
think
think
that's
I think yeah, I think there's a reason there's a lot of reasons why Ireland have played it safe over the years. And I think it goes beyond artistry and into like, you know, political stuff that I'm not really wanting to gather in. But I think there was a time where Ireland was comfortable with not winning because they really couldn't afford to. And I think they sent their best foot forward, but not intended to win or qualify for reasons, you know, that are surpassed any of us. But I think now they realize that if you send someone who has the potential to win or someone who has the potential to create a new representation of Ireland, you're going to benefit much more from that in all sorts of the ways, where whether it's economically or physically or artistry or any of the sort. And I think Ireland have finally caught on to that, and Bambi definitely was the lead runner of that. I think also the fear behind being on Eurovision, you know, in general, in past years we've seen other artists around Ireland have seen the Eurovision curse, as they say, where it's either a career starter or a career ender. You know, you go on the show, you do a bad performance, you'll never work in the industry again. That's kind of what you were told. And I think that's a very intimidating thing when you want music to be your lifeline and your job forever. So I think there was a fear around it. I think Bambi was the first person to say, I'm not afraid of that. I know exactly who I am and I'm gonna do it. And they did an incredible job. And they clearly sparked off this um kind of ongoing event of the best creatives in Ireland realizing that this is the biggest platform in the world and we should really utilize this if we can get the opportunity to.
and how specifically to you, how are you taking in all the reactions to your song?
I still can't believe it, to be honest with you. Like even just like I was laughing with my mom today, and I was saying I've always been a big Twitter user. I've loved Twitter. I think it's such a fast and reactive, or should I say X? It's at X now, right? But it's always been such a fast reacting platform in order to have a conversation, and especially with Eurovision because I'm a huge Eurovision fan myself. I've always found it really quick and easy to kind of access what was happening in amongst the Eurovision communities and to say, oh, I really like this song. What do you think? Or you don't like this song? Or finding out the dramas or the inside scoop and stuff. And I've always found that really exciting. But I've never had a following on it, and I've never had people talk back to me really, or it's kind of just been me sharing my thoughts. But now I have a following of people from Eurovision that are actively talking to me and sending me messages every day, and it's so fun. It's such a fun time, and it's just an incredible experience to have so much love poured at you. And I would say 95% of the attention that I'm getting is great and positive, and I couldn't ask for more. I wasn't expecting so much positive energy and love, so I'm really thankful and I'm very excited to be surrounded by it.
So, how are your preparations going for Eurosong itself? I mean, you probably can't say much yet, but do you have an idea of what your show is going to look like?
Yeah, it's pretty much coming together now. So we are kind of in the final stage of really pulling it all together. And there's a lot of exciting moving parts. And we've got a really, really big team behind us that are all the top of their game and the top of the industries that they're in, whether it be choreography, visuals, light and sound. Like we've got so many of the best creatives around to do this and that believe in me and believe in the project and want us to get to Eurovision. So it's very exciting and it's all starting to come together, and I really honestly couldn't be any more excited.
Now, you said a couple of times that you're a big Eurovision fan. I'm wondering, who do you think are like some of the best artists to have come from Eurovision who have been in it, and maybe some best songs that maybe you still listen to?
I say this all the time and I will continue to say it. Maro from Portugal was
Love
my
her.
one of my
Got one
favorite
of her records.
acts.
Got one of her records behind me actually.
Have you? Oh my
Yeah,
god,
love
look,
her.
you have. Yeah.
She's a
I think for me that has been the artist that has stuck with me for the last, like, since they performed on Eurovision, which was like I think 2 years ago, wasn't it?
to 2022. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been following them since then, and every album that they create is just magical, and even their acoustic albums that they release, like I really couldn't be a bigger fan of Mara if I tried. I'm so glad that they've got the platform now, and like
Same.
even Billie Eilish was saying that it's one of their favorite artists and stuff like that. So like really it's just incredible. But I say that all the time. And then last year in particular, obviously Bambi was a massive impact for me, so I'm a follower of them. And then Sylvester Belt I loved and I still continue to support. Who else? Obviously Lorraine. I know that's like a classic one, but like come on,
Yeah.
mother. um who else? God, there's so many. um I can't think of anyone else here now, but there's so many. Like I actually have a question for you. You might know this. Luke Black, was Luke Black on Eurovision?
Yeah. The
So
Serbian.
I've only recently discovered Luke Black because people keep comparing me to, if they say that if Luke Black had a child with another artist, I can't remember who the other artist is, that it would be my music. And I think that's so funny because I'm such a fan of Eurovision. I watched it for so long, but Luke Black is like who I'm fixating on at the minute now because I think their music is so good. I think their beats are incredible. So I would say Luke Black, even though I didn't see them on original Eurovision, I definitely think that they're one of my favorites.
And now finally, for the people who are just discovering you through Powerplay
Mhm.
and they're liking what they hear, what's the first song of yours that they should check out after they listen to Powerplay?
I would say it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for dark kind of club beats, if you like that kind of club pulse feel of Powerplay, then I would check Fever Thoughts out. And if you like hyper pop and hard abrasive sounds, then I would definitely check out my song Junie. Because that's more kind of in that lane. It's a bit more abrasive than Powerplay. It's definitely not as commercial, but it's definitely in the world of that.
So just before we end, do you have just a message to the Eurovision fans?
Yeah, I would say stay committed to Eurovision. It's going to be an exciting year. I'm with you along the way. I'm really really excited to see who is going to come out on top and who's going to compete, and um stay in contact with me. I want to talk to you guys. I want to meet you guys, and yeah, it's going to be a good year. And let's make music really important and the central hub of creating love and positivity because that's what we need this year for sure.
So thank you very much and best of luck in Eurosong.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.